In this session, we will discuss other parts of basal nuclei. This part is known as claustrum. It is a mass of grey matter situated deep to this structure known as insula. It is separated from the insula by a sheet of white matter known as extreme capsule, and on the inner side it is separated from the lentiform nucleus by another sheet of white matter which is known as external capsule. Claustrum is reciprocally connected with the wide areas of cerebral cortex. Anterior part of the claustrum is connected with the frontal cortex, and the posterior part of the claustrum is connected with the occipital lobe. The next part is amygdaloid body. Amygdaloid body is an almond-shaped mass of grey matter situated into the temporal lobe. It is exactly located anterosuperior to the tip of inferior horn of lateral ventricle. On the surface, location of amygdaloid body corresponds with uncus. So uncus serves as a surface landmark to locate the amygdaloid body. Amygdaloid body is mainly involved in controlling the somatic responses of our body to our internal needs, drive or instincts. It is having also role in smell mediated sexual behavior. Amygdaloid body is anatomically related with basal nuclei, but functionally it is associated with limbic system. So its detailed connection and function will be covered in limbic system. We will now discuss the most important component of basal nuclei, that is substantia nigra. As you can see, it is a curved or crescent-shaped mass of grey matter situated between tegmentum and crus cerebri. Its concavity is directed towards tegmentum, and from its convex margin, various spiky processes project into the crus cerebri. It is divided into two parts. The dorsal part is known as pars compacta, and the ventral part is known as pars reticularis. Pars compacta contains medium-sized, tightly packed cells, whereas pars reticularis contains large size but very few loosely arranged cells. Connections of substantia nigra are very important. Substantia nigra mainly receives afferent from caudate nucleus and putamen, from globus pallidus, from subthalamic nucleus, and from cerebral cortex. From the caudate nucleus and putamen, afferents mainly come to the pars reticulata. From globus pallidus, also afferent comes to the pars reticulata. These afferents are GABAergic. From subthalamic nucleus and from cerebral cortex, also afferent comes to the pars reticulata. Efferents from substantia nigra arise from two regions mainly, pars compacta and pars reticularis. Efferents from the pars compacta goes mainly to the caudate nucleus and putamen, and to a lesser extent it also goes to the globus pallidus and subthalamic nucleus. In Parkinson's disease, there is degeneration of pars compacta region, and due to this there will be less amount of the dopamine in substantia nigra as well as striatum, which will lead to the manifestations of the Parkinson's disease. Pars reticularis mainly project to the thalamus, and to a lesser extent it projects to the reticular formation and pedunculopontine nuclei. Pars lateralis is a very small zone developed in the region of substantia nigra. From the pars lateralis, efferent goes to the superior colliculus. This connection of pars lateralis to the superior colliculus controls the saccadic eye movements. Subthalamic nucleus is a biconvex lens-shaped nucleus located in the subthalamus of diencephalon. It is related to the lateral part of inferior surface of thalamus as well as inframedial to the globus pallidus. It is separated from thalamus by another nucleus known as zona incerta. It receives afferent from the globus pallidus and sends efferent to the globus pallidus as well as substantia nigra. This subthalamic nucleus is having important role in the normal functioning of basal ganglia as well as pathophysiology of basal ganglia related disorders. Destruction of subthalamic nucleus results in a condition known as Bellismus. Apart from this, it is also having a crucial role in the pathophysiology of Parkinson's disease. So, the main function of basal nuclei is planning and programming of voluntary motor activity, which includes how rapidly movement is to be performed and how large the movement must be. It also includes inhibition of unwanted motor activities as well as it also includes regulation of muscle tone, thereby helping in smooth performance of that voluntary motor activity. Apart from planning and programming motor activity, the other functions of basal nuclei are automatic reflex activities like swinging of arm during walking. It controls the reflex motor activities. It also controls the group of activities helping in emotional expressions. So we will conclude today's topic by discussing disorders of basal nuclei. Lesions of basal nuclei results in various forms of unwanted involuntary movements and disturbances in the muscle tone. Disorders of basal nuclei include Parkinsonism, chorea, athetosis, and Bellismus mainly. Parkinsonism is usually seen in people after 50 years of age. In Parkinsonism, there is lack of neurotransmitter dopamine in corpus striatum, which may be due to damage to substantia nigra or nigrostriate fibers. Normally, dopamine is inhibitory to the corpus striatum, but in Parkinsonism, that inhibitory effect of dopamine has been vanished, which will lead to the overstimulation of cerebral cortex and ultimately manifestations like tremor. So lack of inhibitory influence is also known as release phenomena. Characteristic features of Parkinsonism include resting tremor, That means slight shaking of hands when person is not performing any task. The tremors are diminished during movement and exaggerated by emotional excitation. The second manifestation is lead pipe rigidity, in which limb will be hypertonic throughout the range of movement. The next manifestation is pill rolling tremors or pill rolling movements of hand, which consist of circular movements of opposed thumb and index finger. The next manifestation is mask-like face. The gait will be stiff or shuffling gait, which will be due to the rigidity of joints. The posture will be stooped. The stance of the patient will be affected. In stooped posture, the back will be flexed, the arm will be adducted and flexed, and knees will be bent. There will be general slowing down of the movements and absence of associated movements like swinging of arm during walking. So, the Parkinsonism is mainly characterized by a triad of symptoms which include tremor, rigidity, and akinesia. In chorea, there will be quick, jerky, purposeless, irregular, involuntary movements mainly involving tongue, face, and limbs. There are two types of choreas, Sydenham's chorea and Huntington's chorea. In Sydenham's chorea, the movement will be relatively less rapid and less jerky compared to the Huntington's chorea. The lesions of neostriatum and globus pallidus breaks the neuronal circuit between the cerebral cortex and basal nuclei, which leads to slow sinus writhing movements of distal segments of limb mainly involving fingers and toes compared to the proximal muscles. That condition is known as athetosis. The vascular lesions of subthalamic nucleus leads to the balismus, in which there will be violent bursts of irregular movements of trunk, girdle, and proximal musculature of opposite extremity. So, in the balismus, the limb will be suddenly fly in any direction. If only one limb is affected, it is known as monobalismus, and if both upper and lower limb of opposite side gets affected, it is known as hemibalismus.